Today's insight is going to be mainly about trauma and confidence. Those two things really don't seem like they are mutually inclusive, right? Meaning that they go together. And you're right, they don't. Because when you go through a trauma, your confidence goes out the window. But the best way to get back from a trauma, one of the ways to get back from a trauma is to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Put yourself in a situation that makes you grow, that makes you expand, that makes you want to change your current reality that you find yourself in so that you can go explore elsewhere, that you can go outside of the spectrum of what you already know. So staying stuck will not help, ultimately, is what I'm getting at. I mentioned this like a week ago when I pulled out the tarot card, the Tower tarot card, in a reading, and I showed it to you. And I was like, well, what's better? All right, being struck by lightning and being demolished because you were built on faulty foundations? Or is it best for you to systematically deconstruct the tower one piece at a time so that you don't create a big ripple effect, but you create a ripple effect within yourself? And so, which one, the question I asked was, which one's better? That you do it intentionally or that you suffer the consequences of life? You know? Because when you suffer the consequences of life, there will be repercussions that span throughout your family. But when it is you doing it intentionally, slowly but surely, piece by piece, that way it will be an internal job and not necessarily ask for your entire family to join in. Now, I'm talking about this from experience because when I had my accident, my tower moment, all right, my entire family was shook, okay? Not just in Montreal, my entire family worldwide was shook, okay? And everyone banded together to help bring me back. Bring me back. So, like I said, my entire family shook, but now that I have more control over my reality, I am hopefully intentionally breaking down my tower piece by piece to rebuild it on sound foundations. Just think about that, okay? If you do, the difference between it being a massive explosion that really reverberates throughout your entire family and the difference with you making the conscious decision to destroy the tower piece by piece and rebuild it on sound foundations, which will ultimately have the same outcome, or not exactly, which will have slightly different outcomes. Because if you intentionally destroy the tower piece by piece, it will be done in a much more contained fashion, which will have less repercussions on the people around you. But if you suffer life's consequences and you go through a big tower moment that has its repercussions on your family and your friends, that will leave a lasting impression. Now, the key here, alright, and I just thought of this, is that in either case, so the difference is that when you are like intentionally imploding your tower, which means deconstructing it piece by piece through your own accord, you are going to improve your reality. But if you are allowing the life or God to create the tower moment in your, not only in your life but in your family, it might have bigger repercussions and much worse repercussions. But the interesting thing is that everybody around you is going to learn, not just you. So in either case, there is something good that will come of it. It's like after a storm, there is definite beauty, right? Have you seen the difference before a rainstorm and after a rainstorm, when those clouds part and like there's like this ray of sunlight that shines through. It's a beautiful sight. I mean, visually, it's quite captivating. I think it's the most beautiful sight to see. Okay? But yet again, you have to know that before beauty happens, there has to be at least a lot of destruction, a lot of letting go, a lot of purging, a lot of um, moving away from that needs to happen. So the ugly portion is gonna be ugly, but the beautiful portion afterwards is gonna be so rewarding because you did all the work necessary for you to gain that ultimate last like result that you wanted, that beautiful outcome, right? So if managed correctly, a trauma can be quite healing and quite transformative. Well, we already know that traumas are transformative, but in what way? So if you manage it correctly, your trauma can be very, very beneficial. And actually, in medicine, sometimes you need a little bit of trauma to actually heal the correct way. Okay, I know of a couple of times where my orthopedic surgeon had to break my bone again because it was setting the wrong way. So, is there some type of trauma that you can cause in your life in order for you to be the ultimate goal that you are seeking? Ponder that.